We have gone over how to download brushes from Brusheezy. Select the brush, go into the brush preset panel, this little sprocket, and load brushes. And then you want to load the file with the .abr extension. We've already done that here. You can see our smoke. I'm going to hit cancel. And we've made some brushes. We made a sunflower brush with some grayscale imagery and a more graphic sunflower. So if you make brushes in class and you want to take these home or you're moving to a different computer, go back into the brush preset panel and go to Preset Manager. Select the brushes you want by holding down the Shift and then Save Set. And when you take that home, that ABR file, you can load it onto another computer. But what would be super cool is if we could use these brushes in a more dynamic way. That's when you click on this window here. Each one of these brushes, you can do about 1,000 cool things to. So let's play around. If we play around with the spacing, we can have less. So if it's more, right? So you can see the more spacing, the more it's going to look like a line, and less, the higher the spacing, the less there will be. So you can start to see them individual. You can go into shape dynamics. This is why I want you guys using the Wacom. Let's turn the pen pressure. You can jitter the size. You can jitter the angle. And you can jitter the roundness. All right. And I set these to pen pressure when I'm using the Wacom. So when I'm just going kind of light, but when I push very hard, there's a different effect. Okay, we can go to color dynamics. I can change the color by changing the hue jitter. I think that is totally amazing and super fun. You can change the saturation jitter, which affects the saturation. You can also change the brightness jitter and the purity jitter. Which probably would work best when used with the hue jitter. These are all in the brush panel. That's color dynamics. You can, let's see, what else? You can control the tilt when you're using the Wacom tablet, but we'll come back to that. You can set up a dual brush where you're using one brush. Let's make one brush be the smoke brush. Actually, I'm not sure how to, I think it's taking the properties of one brush and applying them to it, right? So if we have the mode on multiply, it's going to multiply the effects of this brush with our sunflower brush. So you can see there's smoke in our sunflowers. Very cool, and that's under dual brush. I think that's very cool. can make a beautiful combination of things. So these are in the brush panel. We went through dual brush, color dynamics, shape dynamics. You can also work with scattering so that you can have a bunch, or you can just have a few. You can jitter the count so it's not even. It's more unexpected. And then again, you can use the pen pressure. So if I'm not pressing too hard, and then if I'm pressing hard. If I'm not pressing too hard, there's only one. If I start to press very hard on the Wacom, they start to bunch up. So that is scattering. Texture, you can add a texture to the brush. So if I use one of the presets, those brushes will now have that property, which is typically pretty terrible unless you can find a really cool texture, which I don't doubt that you can do. Okay? You can also change about a bazillion settings on here too. They can get really graphic and start to make your own pretty fabulous, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of wonderful, and this is all just,
Do that all day.
you could sit here all day. And I'm not going to lie to you and say I haven't, right? So this is all the fun stuff that you can do in the brushes. You can start by making your own or downloading some that are already existing. You can edit brushes that already exist. And once you've got, like, I like this brush a lot. This is the brush for me. If I want to save all of these settings, I come up here to the little pull down and say New Brush Preset. And I'm going to call it Funky Sunflower. So now when I make a new document, if I go in my brush, I'll see, hover over, it'll say Funky Sunflower, and it will have those same attributes. All right, so we'll give that a go.